Details tonight on the fire at Y-12 last month. The situation report we requested through an open records request details the emergency and the emergency response.
That fire from 1 month ago yesterday forced employees in building 9212 to evacuate. The rest of the campus was placed on what they call a curfew. 10 News reporter Vinay Simlot joins us with more on what we're learning today. Vinay?
John, Y-12 says the fire was contained to the processing equipment in building 9212. There were no off-site impacts, but they declared the state of emergency as a precaution.
Is this a drill?
No, it is not. This is a real event.
Y-12 says in a tweet from February 22nd, around 9:15 in the morning, one of its buildings had a fire in a hood. Tennessee's Emergency Management Situation Report says at 9:44 that morning, Y-12 declared an emergency.
It is a site area emergency.
A site area emergency means harmful levels of a material were released beyond the facility but have not left the site, the National Security Complex's website says.
There are no off-site protective action recommendations at this time.
The report says at 9:55, the state's emergency management agency activated its operations center to monitor the situation. Y-12 says chips of uranium metal were being processed for storage when the spark happened.
It burns all by itself, just sitting there in the air, especially in damp air.
The report says crews tried to put petroleum coke on the material to stop it, but the fire continued. Because it did, Y-12 says in an email, the time to extinguish the reaction was longer than expected, so an emergency was declared as a precaution. Y-12 says it evacuated building 9212 because the uranium didn't extinguish immediately.
It is, in fact, the worst kind of failure that you might be trying to ward off in a facility like this.
Dr. Marco Kaltoven is a forensic nuclear scientist who studied the report for us.
It's not very radioactive compared to a working nuclear weapon. And I just don't think that's the standard that we want. It's vastly more radioactive than people are allowed to be exposed to.
Now, in a response to that, Y-12 says all of the particles in the fire were captured by a filter. Everybody was wearing protective equipment. They say follow-up testing found there was no radiation exposure from the event. Y-12 says they'll work with uranium, they understand the properties, and they have plans to make sure they protect their workers and the environment. Robin?
Vinay, thank you.